Thanks, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bernd Leukert.
Yeah, just listening to Clay and Hasso and reflecting what was the point of change is coming into my mind that I think the only human being, at least I have ever met, crying for change is a baby wearing wet diaper. So I at least, I'm proud and I'm happy that my two children passed that change process a couple of years ago already. So for those who don't know me, I started my career more than 20 years ago, exactly here at SAP, as a developer. I learned to code, I learned to listen, I learned to solve the most complex mission-critical problems you have given us. And my commitment to you is that we will make it simple. Welcome, Orlando. Thank you, Hasso. Thank you, Clay. It was impressive, and I couldn't agree more. I am convinced that we, as SAP, but only together with you, our most honored customers, can manage the dilemma. So let's talk product and innovation now. Surely each of you, and we have seen a few great people, are sitting here who are experiencing that pressure for change. And some of them are actually at the forefront, driving it. The digitalization drives the shift from product to service, not meaning that in future no product exists anymore. Deere will continue to produce the agricultural products. It is rather that every product will be enhanced by services. Or in some areas, in some cases, the company might decide to do a business transformation and offer only a service where the product is part of it. I recently met a CEO of a German home appliance manufacturer, and he told me that going forward, there will not be an individual product, there will not be an individual device leaving the factory without having the capability of being connected to the internet. I heard yesterday that one of the big car manufacturers in Germany decided not to release any car in future anymore without a SIM card. Apple just confirmed last week the acquisition of the Beats for roughly $3 billion US. So people will not buy physical products in future anymore, at least to a big extent. We clearly observe a trend from ownership towards consumption. And that's all why Bill said we want to become the cloud company. Today already, roughly 7 billion devices are connected to the internet. And forecast says that already end of 2015, there will be 14 billion, so double in size as we speak today. And by 2020, it will be probably around 50 billion products and devices connected to the internet. So I think it is amazing how connected and transparent life becomes. It just shows the impact of the digitalization on each individual, on each industry, on all of us. And at the epicenter of that trend is software. The capability of software defines our ability to compete on all dimensions regarding the future strategy of any company. And software in future is like compressed, materialized intelligence. It's just like diamonds, which are resulting out of compressed carbon molecules. And equally, the value of diamonds increases with the clarity, the purity, the colors. And as the measure for diamonds is since a couple of years done in carats, and as no such measurement exists for software, we could call it as well for materialized intelligence, we help ourselves with compression, with compression factors. And we saw a great testimonial this morning, just an hour ago, when Hasso talked about the achievements we have already done within our simple finance product. So where do you stand today? How is your IT landscape looking today as we speak? We see multiple of instances, multiple of applications, data scattered across this very complex system landscapes. In many cases, redundant data. And that enterprise architecture concept will reach its limits. I think it is the end of the ability to adequately support the transformation of any company into the digital age. I think your system landscape today looks more like a carbon molecule in the early ages and less like a compact, clear, valuable diamond. And legacy architecture is defined by legacy technology. I think the business, and none of you ever asked to separate analytics and reporting into a separate instance. It was only the limitation of the calculation power of our system that made it necessary, resulting in a very high price for the business in terms of time lag, in terms of accuracy, in terms of flexibility. And this was followed by a trend, we called it new dimension products, like CRM, like SRM, like supply chain management. And later on, enhanced by new categories in the market, like the cloud, like analytics, like mobile. All adding to the complexity of the current system landscape you are facing today. And I will promise you that we will change this. And Hasso said it before. HANA, the platform itself, is the enabler for that simplification. It allows building the next generation enterprise system architecture, a much more compressed system composition. So compact, again, that it feels like the intelligence materializes in one platform. It's like, again, when carbon becomes the diamond. And we address this with a simple product strategy, built on one platform for our applications, but as well for all the applications of our admired partners, I would say, of the whole industry. Built on one user experience and one enterprise core that all jointly powers the applications of the future digital age. And we promised you that we develop our applications in a cloud-first approach. Why? Simply because the cloud allows us on an ongoing basis to deliver innovations, to allow that all of you have access to this innovation instantly, and gives you flexibility, scale, freedom, and I think most important, speed of adoption of the latest innovation. But we will continue to offer you choice for the on-prem and as well for the cloud world. So let's go through each pillar of that strategy. And as I said before, the platform is the fundament. It is not only the unifier and the simplifier that allows any application to run on. It provides, as you said it, close to zero response time, we could call it as well, sheer endless processing power. To be ready to interpret all kinds of granular data, and you saw it with the financial document, in real time, in order to give the business the flexibility to answer any questions or to adapt based on a current situation in real time. This includes that the platform has to offer mathematical algorithms, which we call services. Whether this is in the predictive area, whether this is in the geospatial area, whether this is in the text analysis, makes HANA unique in the industry. But secondly, we really honor your investment into SAP in the past. And therefore, we have moved our core to the cloud. The business suite running on HANA runs in the cloud now. And I am convinced that for companies in such dynamic times, flexibility is a matter of survival. But on the other side, integration defines how effectively you can make use of all the data you have in your IT landscape. And this seems to be like an oxymoron. Integration on the one hand side, flexibility on the other side. And yes, it's true that the core of the business suite was perceived as a very static monolith, a system of record that is hard to change, a system of record that is hard to upgrade. But for our applications, I promise you that we are going to dissolve this. We move the core to the cloud and combine the core with the public cloud assets, build a simple data model and expose, based on that most simplistic data model, the most comprehensive services via our SAP cloud. So we will have in future one solution, one service addressing one business challenge, and all in a modular, Lego-like approach, as all the aggregates we have just seen will simply disappear. And these aggregates are the root cause for the monolith, which was hard to change. This makes it possible to freely combine the assets in line of business applications, but more importantly, leverage the strong industry expertise which we have. Therefore, Bill yesterday announced the industry cloud, and address the capability to run a business globally with local and regional specific extension. And again, our promise stays that in that modular, Lego-like approach, we run the process end to end. And thirdly, the one user experience across the entire portfolio, which is driven by Fiori as a philosophy, will be massively extended by search capabilities, as Hasso pointed out, as each field can serve as an index. And then with the context-aware navigation to any object which is in the platform or even beyond. So you can access as an individual user any information that is relevant to get your job done, and not like in the past that the system exposes to you as a limitation and based on technical constraints. And based on HANA as a common core, with the most comprehensive, but more important, with the most consistent data model in the IT industry, we built the foundation for you in order to have new applications. You might not have even think about it. And I had a conversation just a couple of days ago with McKinsey. And the conclusion of that conversation was that all companies that do not have a consistent core Keep that in mind. All companies that do not have a consistent core will fail in building leading-edge applications, will fail in transitioning to the digital age. So business network connections, predictive patterns, social connectivities gives us endless opportunities, but you need that consistent, comprehensive core data model. And then you are only able, as John Deere have showed us, to change a service from planned into predictive maintenance. And on top of this, SAP is offering the HANA Cloud Platform, as we are fully aware that we cannot solve each individual customer-specific problem. So that extension framework in the HANA Cloud Platform allows you to build application either connected to the cloud or in a secure way as well connected to your on-premise world. But let me talk about the innovations we just released on our HANA platform last week. First of all, we listened very carefully to you, and we widened our choice of offering hardware and software, which was a strong desire communicated by many of you to us. We have enhanced our in-memory data fabric with smart data access capabilities that allows you to build views even if the physical tables are residing in remote systems. So we now support data federation. We have also extended our native high availability capability, our disaster recovery capability with synchronous and asynchronous replication. And we have worked hard of offering a near zero downtime capability for upgrade and for maintenance, as we have learned that in the digital age, this is getting more and more critical. We as well have added the capability of solving the most complex queries in real time, not just with structured data, as well with unstructured data, and since the latest release as well with spatial data. HANA allows us as well now to completely rethink how your end users want to navigate through the system. As with a search capability across your landscape, we are convinced that end users will use the system in the same way as you are used to use the internet. A simple search box with the capability to navigate anywhere will change the way users will experiencing our system. And finally, I have to repeat that one more time. All of that runs on standard hardware. So let me reiterate this, and I know there are some voices in the web who are creating myths. HANA runs on standard hardware. And we now have even opened the hardware certification process to make it even easier. And the best validation that HANA revolutionizes and represents the next generation of IT platforms are you. HANA has a great momentum, and the numbers speak for themselves. We have, in the meantime, more than 3,300 customers betting their future on the leading-edge platform, with more than 600 customers already live. And as we speak today, more than 600,000 end users are using the system day in and day out. And probably you have forgotten that it was just 1 year ago that here in Orlando, we launched the Business Suite on HANA as general availability. And we are proud that we have passed the milestone of reaching 1,000 customers already last month. Yeah, that's worth a round of applause. But the momentum is not just only with the customers. If you build such a leading-edge platform, you feel the center of gravity as well in the partner community. And we are extending, therefore, the support of HANA for Ivy Bridge-based hardware in a great collaboration with Intel. Thanks a lot for that co-innovation. But we as well have recognized that some of you have giant systems going up to 40, 45, 50 terabyte. And therefore, we have started a co-innovation journey with HP that allows us to build a massively scalable hardware addressing with 12 terabyte main memory, a system which is able, I think, to run any system, any SAP system in the world on HANA. So let me hear from Nariman, and I want to welcome Nariman from HP here on stage. He runs the development of the HP Hawk system. Hana is the future. Nariman, please join us on stage and share your experience.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. And I can't tell you how great it is to be here. SAP does a phenomenal job putting on a show, so we're extremely happy, and I'm glad to be here. Our companies have a 30-year history of partnership. It is a very close partnership. It is a friendship that extends between our leaders, and we're very extremely happy about that. I wanted to talk to you about the journey that we're going through at HP. As you know, and you might have heard, we are embarking on this notion of a new style of IT. This is a transformation bridge between consumer and enterprise experiences. The notion here is to promise our customers the ability to have greater agility. They have speed, lower cost, and more importantly, simplicity. To us, simplicity means the ease for our customers to buy, deploy, use, and support the solutions that we have. Therefore, we think that we have an alignment with SAP's vision of simplicity. We believe in it, and we believe in SAP. In fact, we believe in SAP so much that we run one of SAP's largest landscapes at over 90 terabyte inside our supply chain system. It is the heart of the SAP supply chain system. We also believe in HANA. That is why we've spent the last 18 months building a platform which I'm extremely happy to announce today, the Converged System 900, which has 16 sockets and 12 terabytes in a single memory pool in an appliance format. This, to us, is a great innovation, and it is designed to accelerate the adoption of the HANA license in the platform in the future. The Converged Systems is going to allow you to run workloads of any size in an environment where you can scale up to 12 terabytes, large scale out, and with the nodes of a large scale out, achieve 100 terabytes of a solution in reality. This is a significant accomplishment for HP, and we thank our partners at Intel as well as SAP. The Converged System 900 will also come with high availability. It's designed to allow you to have operational efficiency in ways that you can have hard partition, self-healing operating system, and memory, designed to provide simplicity for the operational IT administrators. These are some of the things that we're doing inside HP. And to test it, we were able to run our own ERP system on HANA. And the results were incredible. We are now able to run reports that used to take us 2 hours to run in 2 minutes. Complex queries from 90 minutes to 1 second, providing simplicity in decision-making, simplicity in information management for us. We're extremely happy about this platform. We highly recommend that you stop by the HP booth and take a look at it. The other announcement I have, and I'm extremely proud to announce, is a partnership between SAP, Accenture, and HP. This one is designed to provide you simplicity in adopting and accelerating the deployment of your HANA. In a single subscription model, which is the innovation of this partnership, you will be able to get a monthly bill for all the HANA resources that you need to consume. This is a very strong partnership. It's a very unique, and I'm extremely happy to announce that here today. Lastly, I wanted to share with you that you can run a virtualized instance of HANA on a CS900 platform. In our partnership with our friends at VMware, we have been able to deploy that model. This provides additional simplicity. It allows us to deliver operational efficiency to the administrators by having a virtualized HANA. The performance task has been minimal at best. So, in conclusion, I wanted to let you guys know that we are moving and striving towards the same goals that SAP is striving towards. Simplicity. We want to make sure that if you are going to partner with us, that it is easy to buy, easy to deploy, easy to use, and easy to support. I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to thank our partners at SAP. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Ariel. Thanks a lot for joining. And we already see Pat Gelsinger from VMware. Thanks, Pat, for joining us. Greetings to the Bay Area. It's a testimonial of a sustainable, long-lasting partnership that you took the time today, despite of your busy schedule, to join us here in Orlando. So, Pat, as we are a little bit late in time, I just want to pass over to you and ask you, what are we announcing today? What news do you have for us?
Well, thank you, Bernd. It's a pleasure to join everybody there in Sapphire in Orlando. And today we're announcing the general availability of SAP HANA on VMware vSphere 5.5 for production environments. And as you well know, right, HANA is enabling businesses to run at the speed of thought, and virtualization enables IT to run at the speed of business. And together, that combination really enables businesses to operate more efficiently and to spend less time worrying about infrastructure and more time about their business problems and applications. And so far, the results are quite exciting. 70% reductions in CapEx and 50+% reductions in OpEx. Overall, a great result for our customers.
Thanks a lot. So, Pat, anything beyond that announcement, what benefits can customers expect based on our partnership in future as we are going into virtual environment?
Yeah, working on many things. Obviously, we have broad ecosystem support. We just heard from Nariman and HP, right? Broad ISVs and the VMware platform that come to benefit. We have over 3,500 cloud partners who are working with us. And of course, the broad ecosystem of the HANA partners, as well as the HANA hardware partners, who are all standing up and saying, we're going to be delivering virtual environments just like we heard from HP. And finally, the broad set of system integrators joining us as well for their practices of delivering virtualized environments. But of course, Bernd, right, we're just getting started. And in addition to the GA announcement today for single instance, we also have multi-VM support that's going to RTC today, and we're working together to deliver that for GA in the future. We're also working for larger scale-up environments. We have our 4 terabyte release that will come up with early next year. Also working a larger scale out, working together for on-premise hybrid use cases to off-premise, and much deeper integration of our management suites as well. So today is an important milestone, but we're portending to many opportunities for our mutual customers for the future.
Thanks a lot, Pat. And greetings out of Orlando. SAP and VMware will continue to co-innovate, to work together, deepen the relationship, and I'm convinced that there is more to come to announce. Thanks a lot. Have a great day in the Bay Area.
Thank you, Bert.
So in addition, I'm glad to announce as well that starting today, HANA is as well available on Red Hat's enterprise Linux system with Ivy Bridge processors. And we listen to all of you that your desire that we as well support the IBM Power Systems with Linux is something I can share with you today, that we are starting a test and evaluation phase. If you are eager to join that, please contact us. It is important for us that we get always customers validating that technology before we generally release it. So it was quite an announcement marathon, and it's just a testimonial of that when you have a leading platform, the big leaders in the industry want to join that journey, and we are really grateful that our partners are onboarding us here. And as some of these innovations have already incorporated in productive system, I'm glad that as well Mr. Breyer is here today from AMG, and he give his experience on the journey of embarking on HANA, as well as adopting the virtualized HANA in a small testimonial summarized in that video. So please, can we run the video? And a big thank you to Mr. Breyer for joining us here in Orlando.
AMG is the sports car division of Mercedes-Benz. The design is unique, the sound is unique, and if you like driving fast, that's also more or less unique in the industry. SAP HANA for our company is a strategic platform which is very essential to our IT strategy. And we adopted it more or less immediately because it's the same like with our cars. We like things to happen fast, and we like to do our business analytics in IT also really fast, and to understand the business really fast so that we can make good decisions based on facts. One way to use it is to make the analytics on the engine test bed, where we do all the quality assurance of the engines, and where there's a huge amount of data which we have to process and visualize for the people who are doing that job. On the other hand, it's also used for the SAP ERP suite on HANA, which is the backbone of our logistics and production environment. And we plan in the future to use it also as a platform for our BI. I'm very happy that SAP makes the HANA platform available on VMware, because we have VMware as a sort of a state-of-the-art technology in our data centers. And in order to deploy a service fast, you have to cope with that technology, and that's why how you can deploy a service and infrastructure really fast. And HANA is running on this, and there are no losses of performance.
Again, big thank you. And Mr. Breyer, as we had the discussion yesterday, we just laid out the foundation. And it's a starting point as well for a co-innovation partnership, where we think we can redefine processes for the complete automotive industry. But we as well discussed a little bit about user experience and how to achieve that end users get the data they need to do their job, as great user experience make the human device interaction so natural that the machine, that the system should become the natural extension of the human being. And as we just launched last year here at Sapphire, Fiori as a new philosophy, I think I'm proud that I can share with you that while at that point in time it was focusing on single task applications, in the meantime we have increased it for complete roles in our enterprise core. Now it is the time that I can share with you that the next level is that Fiori is all about the user, which brings together the transactional as well as the analytical data in one role. So we are solving the dilemma that we separate analytical and reporting capabilities into another system. And it's my pleasure that I can show you in a minute that how Lumira, as our leading edge browser, as our leading edge technology, is bringing these capabilities together. And we are redefining on how you can apply analytics in your company, as there is no need anymore to replicate data into a separate system. You have to rethink how you onboard your people. You have to rethink how you digest the information and all the assets you have in your company in order to make benefits out of the fast, out of the secure, out of the real-time access but the platform can give to you. And as well, as Hasso said it before, incorporating the predictive capability of the platform. So you are not just visualizing the data, which is part of a library which you have. You are more using the system as a decision support system, predicting and maybe even identifying relationship between data that you have not even thought about. So I want to introduce Sam Yen, newly appointed Chief Design Officer of SAP. A big round of applause, Sam. you made user experience a new important topic for the company, if it ever was before. So please give us an insight on how the new user experience will look like in future when we onboard the analytic capabilities as well in the transactional world.
Absolutely, thank you, Bert. And I could officially say good afternoon, everybody. What I'd like to show, is what we consider really a best-of-breed analytics solution, SAP Lumira. And there's really no other solution in the market that provides, number one, native integration into your underlying data source. Now, whether this is our online SAP BW system, which is the source of your governed data, or third-party solutions like our newest partner, MongoDB, it's the truly kind of native integration that sets this apart. The second point is we could delegate the actual calculation down to the underlying data systems. So in the case of BW, you're relying on the power of HANA for the performance and the scalability that you've come to expect. The third point is with our recent acquisition of KXEN, we're bringing predictive capabilities not in the hands of data scientists, but right into the hands of end users to be able to do that kind of predictive capability. And the last thing is we've introduced new infographics to let you tell compelling stories with the visualizations of the insights directly from your data. So let's go into the demo. We've got the laptop on the screen right now. This demo is from publicly available airline information. And what you see here is millions and millions of records that we've imported into the system. Now, in the process of importing the data, the measures, the most important aspects of the data have already been automatically identified for you. Now, I could do the demo and do the traditional slicing and dicing, but what I'm going to do now is showcase the predictive capabilities of the system. You might be interested here in total revenue. So if I select total revenue and I click on this little, what I call insight button, what the system is automatically able to do is it's able to run an analysis in real time and help determine, out of all the information in your data set, what are the things that really influence the total revenue of your system, right? And the other thing I could do is, if I look at a particular item right here, not only is it going and taking a look at the information in your system, but it's also helping to predict what you actually need to do to optimize your total revenue. So finally, as we wrap this up, what we could now do is, wouldn't it be great if you could tell the actual story with your infographics and do it all in one system? So what you're able to do here is look at all the traces of your analytics and take this information and simply drag and drop the infographics into your story so you could tell a story with the visualizations of your data. So I think looking forward, as we move forward, this is just one situation, but we're going to move the capabilities that you saw with Lumira closer and closer to the SAP applications. And the values of this is that the applications will sit directly on the transactional data, eliminating any need to do data replication whatsoever. So this completely removes all of the errors, the latencies, and allows you to operate analytics directly on the transactional data. This provides a simple and robust solution that's completely unique in the marketplace. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Sam Yen, Chief Design Officer of SAP. So imagine all these capabilities exist now in the enterprise core, and only the ability of yourself to ask questions is the limitation. But the simplified core in the cloud represents the application architecture of the future. And we just have started with simple finance, and we saw great insights from Helen Arnold this morning. But I would say the real-time information is becoming the new global currency. Probably it's not Bitcoin, it's the real-time information that we use as a new currency, which we could model maybe in our system. And simple finance is the first system in the world, as Hasso outlined this morning, that completely runs a financial application without aggregates and without indices. But instead of just listening to my words, I'm really honored that I have two CFOs here in Orlando with me. I'm glad that I can announce that Dennis Hickey, CFO of Colgate, is joining us here on stage together with Luka Mucic, CFO of SAP. Dennis, thanks a lot for interrupting your business review and taking the time to come with us here to Orlando. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great to be here. Luca, thanks for joining.
Thank you very much. Hello, Luca. Hello, Dennis.
So looking at the system we have seen before, but let me ask you, what are the challenges you see in today's world, and what priorities do you have on your roadmap in order to overcome this?
Well, obviously, within finance, our first and foremost priority is to the credibility of our data, the financial statements that we have to deal with, that we have to issue. But more and more what we're seeing is finance is getting pulled into every area of the organization. So as much as the organization chart may look hierarchical, where finance people sit are really embedded within every area of the organization. They are being challenged to work with people on an end-to-end process basis to really come up with real-time analytics, dial down into information, provide information on demand that today looks at the business as it exists today, but is more and more getting into that area of predictive analytics. And Luca, I'm assuming you're seeing the same thing.
I heard an important word you said, on demand, and we have seen this morning when Helen showed it. She asked for the information, and it was provided in real time, on demand, as the user expected.
Exactly.
So maybe, Luca, if you could share a few words, as SAP has already gone through that journey and is live since April 27th. What is your experience on how that migration went, and what have been your earlier concerns regarding compliance?
No, definitely. I mean, it was actually a surprisingly smooth experience. We went live after only 2 months with SAP Simple Finance. So that's a great testament to the non-disruptive nature of going through this transformation that also Hasso has outlined before. But actually, our roadmap towards real-time computing and in-memory technology has already started the year before. We have, since August of last year, our whole ERP system running on HANA with a tremendous progress in terms of the speed of processing. For example, our annual and quarterly close cycle, we came down since the beginning of last year by 5 days in our close cycle, and a lot of that was spurred by taking batch processing, for example, for revenue allocations, for intercompany reconciliation, and putting it into real-time processes and saving time, therefore, for analytical tasks in the closing process while still compressing the close cycle. But I think the big opportunity that we see now is really to also get smarter, not only faster. And that's the essence, what I see now as a possibility with SAP Simple Finance. Now that we have a system without aggregates, where we have at the lowest level of granularity, basically to pose any question that we want, it's exactly about empowering our people across the organization to think in a new way about the right questions to be asked. My favorite question at the moment is, how can I bridge from management accounting to legal entity-based reporting? If I have investment cases, if I have a restructuring going on in one part of the business, and this is going on in, let's say, 20 legal entities, how does it, in a simulative model, influence my cash flow statement, my balance sheet in the legal entity? This is a tremendous value, for example, for cash-based investments that our treasury group needs to run, as well as for impairment predictions that our tax department requires. And I think there are unlimited opportunities, and we will need some time to think about the right questions to ask.
Thank you, Luca. Final word from you, Dennis. What is your roadmap, and how do you want to move forward?
You know, for us moving forward, I think it goes very much back to that whole concept of being smarter and faster. And we describe it as being smarter and faster in order to win on the ground. So it's important to be able to provide on-the-ground information to our subsidiaries, but also to then be able to look at things on a more, aggregated basis. Almost aggregated became a bad word this morning. But again, as we pull this up, it provides us an indication that will then allow us to really turn the financial statements on their head and really drill down into information for those areas that really cause that root cause issue, so that then that can be where we can really focus our time and attention. And it really dials back to the way we're even trying to look at the business overall from a business meeting standpoint, to have meetings that are focused more on issues. Again, having used those analytics, ideally real-time on demand, to go in and have a targeted meeting, come up with solutions in order to help drive the business forward.
Wow.
We look forward to the opportunity of using that more and more in the future.
And you have our commitment. We will serve you and make you successful.
We
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
that.
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you,
on
Bernd,
stage.
and I hope I have your commitment as well, Bernd. Thank you.
Of course.
Take care.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Luca. This was really insightful. But this was only the beginning. We are just at the beginning of a big journey. Simple finance was the first step towards moving the complete core to the cloud in a simple way. Other key areas will follow. And you see here that we have a clear target to move from inventory management to sales to distribution to procurement, the complete core into a puristic, simple data model in the cloud until end of the year. So there is more to come, and the cloud gives us the opportunity on an ongoing basis to deliver this innovation to you and give access to thousands of users which are stuck in the current on-prem world. In that example, which is behind me, it is a clear illustration that massive possibility to simplify the data model is not only existing in finance. In the example of inventory management, we can consolidate 24 inventory tables for the different stock types we all together have invented over the last couple of years into 2 tables. And imagine that that simplification of the data model is resulting in a massive simplification of the resulting configuration, of the resulting code. But even more important, in addition to reducing the simplification of the data model, I can share with you that first tests with customers have validated that we can increase the throughput of our logistics system by a factor 3 only by simplifying the data model using the concept we have elaborated with Hasso this morning. So bottom line is the purity of the data model and the benefit of an order of magnitude of data footprint reduction is making this system so superior in the industry. And finally, at the end of the presentation, I want to welcome Burberry. I want to welcome John Douglas, CTO of Burberry, here on stage. John, could you join us as you are being one of the early adopters of HANA? We have jointly started that journey. I think it was 3 years ago.
That's right,
We see phenomenal results, how the digitization of an industry and how Burberry is leading that trend and is becoming, I would say, the leading provider in the whole retail industry on how the industry is transforming in future. Could you give us a glimpse on an experience you had so far, but maybe as well some insight on how you want to move forward?
Okay, I can do that. Hi, everyone. Is anybody still there? Yeah? My name's John Douglas. Woo! And I have the privilege of being the CTO of Burberry. Just in case you're wondering, and in deference to the guy yesterday who spoke 22 languages, English is my first language. So those of you that are left, please stay with me. 2 years ago on this stage, I had the honor of demoing the first live HTML5 app running on HANA, Customer One-to-One. The HANA technology has improved enormously since then. Unfortunately, that's not something I can say about the fashion sense I've seen around the conference in the last couple of days. And I swear I've seen some front row jackets and ties from 2 years ago. So in order to help you all, and those of you out at the back as well, I've arranged a special 10% discount at our Burberry store at the Mall at Millennia in downtown Orlando until the end of the conference. Just mention my name and Sapphire now. Remember, fashion and technology go hand in hand. So now the reason I'm here, let me tell you about the incredible journey we've been on for the past decade to become a leading global luxury brand with over 11,000 employees. And we're excited about the next chapter of the journey with our new Chief Creative and Chief Executive Officer, Christopher Bailey. Since 1856, Burberry's embraced innovation at its core as a young old company. It started with the creation of our waterproof gabardine in our iconic trench coats through to today, where we're leading the evolution of retail with the blurring of our physical and digital worlds. With exciting future growth drivers like the transition of our Japanese business and the integration of our new fifth product division, Beauty, the scale of our business today requires the execution in our back end to be as innovative and compelling a proposition as our brand today. Here is a short video about our new beauty retail concept, the Beauty Box, recently opened in London, which gives a look at how we're disrupting a sector and elevating the customer experience through digital.
When the cold shakes my bones, it's the rug that warms my soul. It's the textile to the skin, and the sensation alone feels like home. Home.
Thank you. Cool. Actually, next time I might just come and play videos. Maybe that would be better. So where are we today? We implemented IS Retail, AFS and BW 8 years ago, and this has been our core platform ever since. The system we put in then has been continually altered and extended, and we're now at an inflection point where to realize the next chapter, we need a step change. 2 years ago, we recognized the potential of HANA, and with a strong innovation agenda, took an early leap using HANA to bring together data from around our ecosystem to serve real-time applications. As mentioned earlier, this started with the creation of what we call Customer One-to-One. This allows customers, if they choose, to have the most personal and relevant experience of the brand, regardless of how they choose to engage across channel. This app, delivered in HTML5 on the iPad, brings together customer information, sales history, and inventory levels to the sales associate. Data comes from SAP, e-commerce, point of sale, and Salesforce. We have leveraged this data to transform analytics and information provision and linked HANA to Hadoop as a big data platform. We're now moving from innovation to execution and launching a major new program to fully embrace HANA by replacing our existing SAP Oracle platform with Business Suite on HANA. This brings our global business together into one system, starting with retail and BW on HANA, replacing AFS with the new fashion management solution, and building a new FMCG business model for beauty while replatforming our e-commerce on SAP Hybris. And all of this running on the HANA Enterprise Cloud. The benefits of a single HANA platform are significant. Hugely simplified footprint with retail, wholesale, manufacturing, and beauty all on one database. Implementing the HANA native new financials as announced at this conference. And finally moving from batch to real time, from reporting to action. In summary, we're putting the whole business on HANA. The whole business integrated on one platform and all in memory. Burberry is now nearly 160 years old, but we've always used innovation in technology, in product, in communications to ensure we keep growing and evolving. We'll require the close collaboration with our key partners, SAP and Capgemini and others, to deliver the scale of this transformation over the next 18 months. I look forward to updating you all at next year's Sapphire on the progress we've made. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have our commitment. We will make you successful.
Thank you.
More than ever before.
Thank you, Bernd.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, SAP.
John Douglas from Burberry. Now we have a simple and impactful product strategy outlined on a single page. Probably the last time we as SAP had this was in the early days of R3. I don't know how many of you still remember the famous old grid diagram. But again, we are back on one platform, one core, which comprises the on-prem and the on-demand world, one user experience, and all on SAP Cloud powered by HANA. And again, to reiterate, the most comprehensive data model allows you to consistently run your processes across the individual line of business in a consistent way in order to outperform the market with leading-edge innovations. And the diamond, which I was talking about, exists not just for line of business, it exists for 25 industries. So, as I promised to you earlier, we make it simple. Run simple in the digital age. Your future runs on SAP. I'm excited, inspired, and I'm eager to get started with you now. Thank you.